Traveling can be scary sometimes, and it's really important to stay safe and comfortable. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips on staying safe and comfortable while traveling. Number 1, book hotels if you need to. Most people when they're traveling stay in hostels, and it can be pretty pricey to stay a night in a hotel. But you may get moments in your trip where you're not feeling well, like I am right now, or it's just the safer option to stay in a hotel. It could also be that you've been staying in hostels too long and you just want a night where you're just by yourself and you have your own bed and your own room and your own shower. So I'd recommend adding a little extra to your travel budget so you have the flexibility to, in case you do need a day where you want to stay in a hotel, you can just put that £50 or however much it is towards that for 1 or 2 nights. During the USA road trip we did last year, for the most part we slept in our tent and in the car, but there are often days where we thought it was best for us to stay in hotels. For example, when we felt a bit uneasy of sleeping in the car, or if we weren't well. These uneasy moments could be whether we were in a big city like Chicago or New York or San Francisco, or when we were in Arizona, it was physically not safe and considered dangerous for us to sleep in our tent. But I'm not going to diss on sleeping in the car because I actually enjoyed sleeping in the car, funny enough. But when we didn't feel safe in certain situations when we were in the car, it was pretty easy to just drive away and find somewhere else to sleep that night. Another reason I would stay in a hotel is just comfort. There were times where we didn't feel well or it was considered dangerous, like I mentioned before when we were in Arizona. And during these moments, we thought it was best to try and find a nice bed, a nice bathroom, air conditioning, the things that we needed in those moments, like when we were sick or the Arizona situation. And being on your travels for a while, you will most likely start to crave things like food, a bathroom, a bed, and air conditioning, or whatever it may be. I don't want to get too graphic, but there may be a situation where you've ate something that didn't make your stomach feel good, and you will need a pretty good bathroom for the next 3 hours. That's when I would recommend booking a hotel. And just a personal recommendation, booking.com gives you rewards each time you book something on their website. Tip 2, you're not alone. Don't tell anyone you're alone. Don't even mention to anyone that you're by yourself if you are traveling alone. If anyone asks you, are you with anyone? Where's your friend? Or who are you with? Just answer, yes, my friend is over there. Or yes, my friend, he's just ahead of me. Or I'm just about to go meet my friend. There are certain people out there, sadly, that will take advantage of you if you are alone. Because if you're by yourself, to them you're an easy target. And take that from someone who has been robbed while being traveling. Obviously, I don't want to get into it again. I'm so sick of telling this story. But that was definitely one of the reasons why I think I got chosen to be robbed. Because I was alone and I was scared and I was a bit uneasy. And people can read these things. They know your body language. They know how you're feeling in these moments, and if you have confidence or if you present yourself that you're not scared, they'll most likely leave you alone. But these things are rare, so don't expect to get off your flight and be greeted by a bunch of thieves who are going to pickpocket you or whatever. But just be aware of your surroundings. Know who's looking at you for a bit too long, or if you recognize someone who's been hanging about you, that's when you should start to put 2 and 2 together. And this leads to my next point, which is hold on to your shit. Right, don't let go of your bag. Don't put it in a carriage compartment in a bus and then forget about it. Or yeah, who would do that? Now when I travel, I don't let go of anything. I'm sleeping with my bag. I'm making sure I know where everything is in my bag. So if I feel any kind of movement or any kind of jolt, I can instantly, I'm aware. I guess this travel experience has caused me to be this way, but you won't think it would happen if it hasn't happened to you before. But just an example, if you're on a bus, boat, train, whatever, just keep an eye on your stuff. I would hold on to it for the whole journey. I wouldn't put anything aside if it's out of arm's reach. These people, they know what they're doing. They're quick and they will do it when you're not even noticing. Most people will try and distract you and then you've looked away and your bag's gone. Don't wave your phone around too much, or don't flash your cash out so everyone can see it. And don't let people know what you may have on you, which is a great layup to tip number 3. Keep your distance. And I'm not talking about COVID. I don't want to even mention that word. I'm referring to your information about yourself. I'm referring to giving people too much information about yourself. Don't tell anyone where you're staying or where you're going. Don't even let them know what you're doing tonight. Of course, you know how to trust someone. I can guarantee if you're going traveling by yourself, you will know which type of people to trust and who not to trust. But if you don't, people who are a bit too eager, too pushy, and too like asking you too many questions, I would avoid telling them anything. Like I said, don't tell anyone where you're staying or where you're going out tonight or where you're going in a month or a week from now. This could end up in someone following you home or following you around until they get that moment where they can take advantage of you. Traveling with a group may be a bit safer, but I'm one of those people who thinks traveling solo is the best way to travel. Lastly, and probably the most important tip, if you're going to Asia or you're going away to some backpacking area, most of the time there are a lot of people who do drugs, and just don't do it. There's no reason to. I get people who think, oh, I'm away, I'm traveling, I can be free, I can do what I want. Most people who are victims of crime in Asia, for example, the big backpacking, hub of the world, are people who are consuming drugs. There's no reason for you to do it. If you're in a public area and you need to be looking after yourself, and completely doing the opposite of that is by doing drugs. So just avoid it, especially in countries who just take this really seriously, and you could even be sentenced to time in jail, with death sentence. There's crazy shit out there that I would just not want to mess with if I was you. So if you found these tips really useful, that'd be great if you could just hit a like or subscribe and comment if you have any tips for me as well that you want to add on to this. Go watch the other videos. I just posted a video about backpacking and how to pack before going backpacking, so you can watch that somewhere over here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the other videos, because that's not right. Go watch the other videos because they're good like this one.